give us an update on what's happening today so far?
All right, so today is the Discipline Services Balloting Day. As you know, the law provides for members of the discipline forces to vote prior to elections because on election day, they will be engaged in provision of security services across the country at the respective polling stations. So as a result, the law has made provision for members of the discipline forces to vote prior to elections. So today, 10,481 ranks across the respective discipline forces will be voting across the country in all 10 districts. We have the Guyana Police Force with 6,909 ranks expected to vote, the Guyana Defense Force with 3,106, and the Guyana Prison Service with 466 members voting today. Now, I want to clarify that these officers are afforded the opportunity to vote in the district where they are assigned to work and not in the district where they are registered to vote. So when the ballots arrive in country, we've gone through a process of extraction and sorting those 10,481 ballots in the presence of political party agents. We've gone through a process of enveloping those ballots using 2 envelopes, one with the name and ID number of the elector on the outside, and the inner envelope containing that ballot with just the region where that officer is assigned or registered on the official list of electors. Upon the close of poll today, when those ballots are returned, those ballots will be sorted by the respective district, and they will be placed in secure custody according to district. We have gazetted the list of polling stations where those ballots will be intermixed on election day, which is the 1st of September. So those ballots will be counted in the respective districts where the officers are registered to vote.
How soon would we be able to know the turnout rate?
We will go through this process immediately after the close of poll in terms of the sorting of those ballots, and I anticipate that the latest by Sunday we should be able to complete that processing because we have a very efficient team that will be working to complete that task.
Could you say if there have been any reports of hiccups, late starts? I heard the president spoke just now about the issuance of letters. I think that had to do with the party agents.
I am not familiar with that issue, but certainly I will be able to revert on that. One of the issues I encountered early this morning was officers seemingly making complaints about the ballot not being stamped. I want to particularly clarify that on Discipline Services Balloting Day, the ballots are not stamped with the 6-digit number, but when they're being intermixed at that polling station on election day, it is stamped with that 6-digit number of that polling station and placed into that ballot box and intermixed for counting on that day. That is what is the legal process that is allowed for, and so that is exactly what we will be doing.
Yolanda, could you explain the enforcement of the 200-yard restriction, particularly for the media?
Okay, so the law provides for, I want to particularly clarify that with the enforcement of a 200 yards, it's not that we intend in any way to hamper or obstruct the coverage of media, but we also have a responsibility to ensure that the process goes uninterrupted as provided for in Section 78 of the Representation of the People Act. We know what historically obtains, but we have also received reports of officers feeling molested, annoyed, or obstruction to the ingress, the egress, and exit of the poll. So we want to ensure that that order prevails in accordance with what the Representation of the People Act provides for, and therefore it would be remiss of GCOM not to highlight what the law provides for. I also want to highlight that Section 79 of the Representation of the People Act also outlines clearly who are the persons entitled to be at a polling station and at a count. So we have to abide by what those legal provisions entail.
say if we would be seeing the chairman? Is she out and about? Is she observing? Has she visited any of the locations?
Not
thus
as
far?
yet, but I'm sure that the chairperson will be visiting a few locations later in the day. I can, at a later time in the morning, communicate that information to the press.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good to see you.